Hi, I am Vana, I am a hypnotherapist and I have an interest in the tools and techniques of psychological health. Today I will discuss a study titled Intensive Therapy Utilizing Hypnosis in the Treatment of Substance Abuse Disorders by Greg Potter. I am interested in the scientific techniques that helped clients with their drug addictions. I will also offer my critique. Here is the background of the study. 18 clients were treated with hypnotherapy for their drug addictions. The majority of clients suffered from alcoholism, with only 2 who were addicted to cocaine and marijuana. Out of the 18 clients, 14 were successful in meeting their goal of being completely drug-free or not abusing their drug of choice for at least 1 year. So we have 14 successful clients out of 18, but the researcher lost contact with 2 clients and only 2 relapsed. That is a great success rate of close to 78%, with 11% unknown and 11% relapse. The study describes a 20-session intensive hypnotherapy program delivered once a day on each weekday over 4 weeks. Traditionally, hypnotherapy is seen as a quick fix intervention. For example, there is a case study of a brief 1-session hypnotherapy for addictions using the utilization sobriety model by Wallas. The brief 1-session hypnotherapy had positive outcomes in 2 out of 3 clients. However, the current study claims that hypnotherapy used systematically over a long period creates longer lasting benefits. I personally agree that 20 hypnotherapy sessions are more than what people come to expect from hypnotherapy, but a larger number of sessions provides greater support. Clients were asked by the hypnotherapist to read the book titled Staying Sober by Gorski and Miller before they started the hypnotherapy program. Gorski and Miller are an authority in relapse prevention, and I would personally recommend their books. One of Gorski's key principles for relapse prevention is this excellent quote: "The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior minus a specific plan to change." So, lack of planning means relapse. Now, let's move on to the treatment techniques that were applied in the hypnotherapy sessions. There were 7 techniques altogether. First, self-image technique. Second, anchoring. Third, metaphors. Fourth, reframing. Fifth, affect bridge. Sixth, ego state therapy. And 7th, self-hypnosis. First, let's start with the self-image technique. This involves asking clients to describe their addiction-free self-image. They normally come up with words such as healthy, sober, drug-free, energetic, respected, and honest. Then these words are used in hypnosis as direct suggestions. This is an absolutely brilliant technique, and I use something similar in all of my hypnotherapy sessions with clients. The self-image technique is essential because it creates a new identity in the mind of the addicted clients. More importantly, people's identity tends to be aligned with their behavior. Therefore, a new identity would shift the behavior. The second technique is anchoring. The hypnotherapist used post-hypnotic suggestions to pair cravings with desired feeling states. Specifically, the words, "No, I don't want that, I'm free," were anchored to feelings of peace, strength, and control. Every time a thought about the drug or craving would arise, they had to repeat the post-hypnotic suggestion to help them tap to their desired feelings. Anchoring is a powerful hypnotherapy technique and especially useful in dealing with addictions. The third technique is a therapeutic metaphor. One of the metaphors that the hypnotherapist mentioned in the research paper was titled "The Boy Who Lost His Way," written by Wallas in his book The Third Ear. I have this book, so I will recite a summary of this metaphor. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was lost in a forest. He was going around and around in circles, getting nowhere. At some point, he found a house. The grown-up man welcomed him in the house and offered him a potion that would make him feel better. The boy drank the potion, felt better, and went to sleep. But as soon as he woke up, he suffered from a terrible sickness. The man then again offered him the potion. The boy drank the potion, felt better, and went to sleep. But again, when he woke up, he suffered from sickness. That went on and on for a very long time, for years. One day, the boy decided to escape. The grown-up man was looking for the boy, but the boy managed to run far away from him. He was frightened and lost again, but this time he saw a campfire with a circle of people around it. He was so exhausted that he fainted. The people at the campfire found him and looked after him. He became friends with them. His new friends had a map that showed the way out of the dense forest. The boy wished to leave, and a couple of his friends decided to join him. They followed the map, looking for the settlement outside the forest. But the settlement was in a valley behind a high and steep mountain. As the boy was climbing the mountain with his friends, he was advised not to look behind or ahead of him, but to keep paying attention to his foothold. He was given the same advice as he was descending the mountain. In the end, the boy reached the settlement, and he was delighted and free. At last, he had found his way back home. So, metaphors can indeed be very powerful, especially when they are adapted to a client's situation. However, something that could be even more powerful is to help the client find their own metaphors, perhaps from their own favorite movies, stories, or songs. For example, if the client likes the Lord of the Rings movie, he can imagine himself being the wise wizard Gandalf, defeating the drags represented by the fire monster Balrog. My personal favorite is the Greek myth Odysseus and the Sirens. Personally, I would not stop at storytelling and metaphors. I would take it further and extract an affirmation from the story for my clients to use in self-hypnosis. For example, my clients and I could come up with an affirmation such as, "I am the little boy who's finding his way home," or "I am Gandalf," or "I am Odysseus." The story then becomes even more powerful. It becomes a symbol of strength and inspiration. The fourth technique used with the 18 drug-addicted clients was the reframing technique. For example, events such as the New Year's party, fishing, or boating were reframed in hypnotherapy to exclude the addictive substance. Reframing is a different way of looking at a situation, but changing its meaning and not the facts. So, similarly, I would have talked about the feelings of fun and excitement of meeting people at the New Year's party without needing to take drugs. Let's now look at the fifth technique, the affect bridge. This technique follows the emotions associated with the drugs all the way back to the past, around the time of the initial use of drugs. This makes the client more aware of how the addiction started. And according to the study, awareness helps the client break the emotional connection with the drug. Personally, I would use affect bridge, or as I call it, hypnotic regression, in a very similar way. But my focus would be on the client's choice and afterthoughts. Was there another choice available to him? If he was to go back in time, would he still choose to take drugs? Sixth is the ego state therapy, which is based on the idea that the personality consists of parts, and some of those parts have conflicting goals. For someone who is addicted to drugs, they may have two parts, the addicted part and the part that wants to give up. The hypnotherapist helps the client access those parts and discover their deeper needs and benefits. For example, the addicted part may benefit from the relaxation, comfort, and excitement of taking drugs. Then, the hypnotherapist and client work together to find alternative ways of getting the same benefits without the use of drugs. The hypnotherapist in the research paper claims that this type of ego state therapy can be effective with some clients. But it is my own assertion that this is the most powerful tool for change for all clients, because it resolves the conflict of the different parts that exist within us. Finally, seventh, self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis was taught to clients, and they were advised to use it if they wished. a recording of the self-hypnosis was not given in order to avoid the anchoring of the client to the recorder. I think it was the right decision not to give a recording, because all clients had a minimum of 20 hypnotherapy sessions each, and therefore there was plenty of time to learn and practice self-hypnosis independently. I personally teach self-hypnosis to some of my clients for two main reasons. First, it helps clients access a simple mental and physical relaxation state. And second reason, self-hypnosis enhances the effectiveness of self-suggestions. So, in this video, I discussed the duration of the hypnotherapy program, and I mentioned that a longer program can offer support. I also examined the 7 hypnotherapy techniques, namely self-image technique, anchoring, metaphors, reframing, affect bridge, ego state therapy, and self-hypnosis. The hypnotherapist in the research paper is an expert in hypnotherapy techniques for addictions. All the techniques are valuable, especially when they are adapted to the specific needs of the client. However, my top 3 favorite techniques are the self-image technique, as it helps clients adopt a new identity, anchoring through post-hypnotic suggestion, because it can create a desired automatic reaction in minutes, and ego state therapy, because it resolves the inner conflict. So that is all from me. Please like and subscribe, and put any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Till later.